subscribers, and welcome if you are new. My name is Maddie, and this is my book nook. So, as you can tell, I have a new video for you guys today. It is my top 10 favorite books of all time. So, you guys should comment down below your top 10 favorite books, and if any of my favorites are on your top 10 favorites. So, I have a few little notes I'm going to make before we get on to the list. So the first is, I will not be doing series or trilogies in this video, just because I think it would make it a lot easier to just describe the standalones, so that's what I'm going to be doing. We are also going to be starting with book number 10 and working our way down to book number 1, which obviously is going to be my favorite of all time. So, let's do this. So, book number 10 on this list is My Lady Jane by Cynthia Hand, Brody Ashton, and Jodi Meadows. So, I said I wasn't going to be doing series or trilogies, but I don't think this counts because it is a part of a trilogy. But each of the books follows a different Jane and a different whole set of characters and a different plot. So I figured this should count because I adore this book. This book is kind of a humorous alternate history version of Lady Jane Grey from history. She was the Queen of England for 9 days before she was beheaded by Mary Stuart, who was Bloody Mary. Or no, Mary Tudor. I'm sorry. That's not Mary Stuart. Okay, so this is really different from what I normally read. I really read kind of dark and heavy reads because I mostly read historical fiction, but this was really funny, and I also absolutely love the fantasy elements in this book, like the Ethians and everything. I thought that was really nice. I don't read fantasy hardly ever, so I thought it was really fun. This was just a totally fun read, and I love the romance. It was just so cute. So I really like this book. So that is going to be number 10. Number 9 on this list is a book I do not own. I also don't own another book on this list, but I hope to be getting them both soon because I absolutely love these books. So number 9 is My Sister's Keeper by Jodi Picoult. Please let me know if I'm saying her last name wrong. I'd really appreciate it. So this book was nothing but great. This book was amazing. I absolutely loved it. My friend had it on this list that her mom recommended to us, so I read it and I really loved it. It was just okay. So this book is about a girl named Anna, and her sole purpose of life is her parents had her just so she could donate to her sister who has leukemia. She has donated blood and all sorts of bodily fluids that one would donate to a patient with leukemia. So now Anna is 13 years old and Kate is 16, and now her parents want her to give Kate a kidney. And Anna does not want to give her sister a kidney. She loves her sister, but she wants to have the freedom to do what she wants. And giving up a kidney also means she would have to give up hockey, which is a sport she really loves to play. So she hires a lawyer who is going to take her parents to court and hopefully get her medically emancipated from her parents. It is so beautifully written, but it's also very sad because you want Kate to be able to get a kidney and to live a longer life, but you also want Anna to be able to have this freedom to do what she wants and not have to give away, a kidney. So, but it is really sad, and I really did enjoy it though. It was great. So Jodi Picoult's awesome. So number 8 on this list is Far From the Tree by Robin Benway. I read this book earlier this year. It was the 10th book I read this year, and I found out about this book from Haley in Bookland. I will link her YouTube channel down below. She said it was done very well, so I thought, you know what, I'll give it a shot. I'll read it. And it was just so beautifully written. I absolutely adore this book. I know I said that about My Lady Jane, but I'm going to be using a lot of the same adjectives, so. But I just absolutely adored this book. I've said that twice now. I'm sorry. So this book is about a girl named Grace. She is 16 or 17 years old, I believe. She is a only child, and she knows that she is adopted. So she wants to find out about her birth mother, but she also finds out that she is, a middle child. She has an older brother named Joaquin and a younger sister named Maya. So she sets up a meet with them, and basically the story is just about her, meeting her siblings and trying to connect with them. And you also get their perspectives, which I think is super cool, and you get to see their families and just basically what their life is like, and what it's like to be, given up by your birth parent. So it is so good. It's just amazing. It was such a beautiful story, and I love the characters. It was done so well. I love it so much. So Number 7 on this list is Before We Were Yours by Lisa Wingate. This book was given to me for either Christmas or my birthday. I cannot remember because they're both right next to each other. So this was given to me by my friend because we had a library book talk where at our school our library gives off a few book talks a month. So this was one of the books that they did, and I thought it sounded really boring. So when I got it, I wouldn't say I was disappointed. I was just like, I wish there wasn't, there were some other books that I wish I would have gotten at the time, but I didn't say that to her. So I thought I would give the book a shot. It was the first book I read this year, and I was blown away. Like, I did not expect to like this book. I thought I would just end up DNFing it and never picking it up again, but I absolutely loved it. I thought it was so interesting, and I love the plot because I hadn't heard of this before. It is about the Tennessee Children's Home Society. It was an orphanage in Tennessee, obviously, and basically they took kids off their front porches and they gave them up for adoption like they were orphans, and it was horrible. So it's about this girl. She has 4 or 5 siblings, I think, and they're all taken off the front porch of their home, and it's just about her. She wants to escape. She wants to get out of there and find her parents, and it's just so sad, but it's also so good. And it also alternates between then and modern times, and it's about this. In the modern time story, it is about a girl named Avery. She's the daughter of a politician, and she meets one of the girls who was from the Tennessee Children's Home Society, a child that was taken. She meets her at a senior care facility. So I absolutely love this book. I really want to reread it at the end of the year because it was just so good. So I really like this book. So number 6 on this list is Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys. This book is about 4 characters in World War II. They are trying to escape Europe. I can't remember where they're going exactly because it has been a little while since I've read this book. But it is about 4 different characters, and you get all their different points of view. 3 of them are trying to escape. 1 is a Nazi, and it is about a horrible disaster that happened during World War II. They're all trying to escape, and they get on the ship, and the ship ends up sinking. And it was a huge disaster from history, but it's crazy because I had never heard of it before picking up this book. It was bigger than the Titanic, which is crazy because everyone knows about the Titanic. And it happened during World War II, which is even more horrific. But this book was so great. I loved the characters. It was so sad, and it was just done so well. I just can't express how much I love this book. And Ruta Sepetys, she's great. So number 5 on this list is Girl in the Blue Coat by Monica Hesse. This is a World War II historical fiction. It takes place in Holland, which I don't normally read historical fictions that take place in Holland. Most of them take place in either Poland or France. Don't know why. I don't know. So this is about a girl who lives there in World War II, and was taken over by Germany, so it is Nazi occupied. And she runs errands for the black market. She delivers items to people who buy them from her, and she hides them in her bike. But she goes to this old lady who she ordered from her, and the lady was hiding a Jew in her home. But the Jew, who is a girl, she's about 12 years old, she left, and she wants to find out what happened to her and where she is, and they want to find her before the Nazis do. So she asks Haniki, I think is how you say her name, I'm not exactly sure. But Haniki, basically it's her trying to find this girl, and it was just so awesome because I haven't read a historical fiction that was also a mystery, so I love that. I love mystery, but I don't read a lot of them. I just can't find good ones. So I thought it was super good, and I love the plot twist at the end because Monica Hesse knows how to do this very well. So I love this book. It's so great. So yeah. Number 4 on this list is another World War II historical fiction. It is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I absolutely love Kristen Hanna and her work. She is my favorite author. She is the best. I want to read all of her books, which there's like more than 20, so that's going to take me a little while, but we'll get there. This is about 2 sisters living in France during World War II. It is Nazi occupied at the time. One of the girls in the beginning is 18 and the other is 28. The 28-year-old, she is Vianne. She is married and she has a daughter. And her husband is fighting for France, and so she is home alone with her daughter. And her 18-year-old sister, Isabel, is wanting to resist. She wants to join the resistance. She wants to fight the Germans, while Vianne wants to keep quiet and lay low. But it's just about them growing during World War II and just learning to fight in their own different ways. And it's just so great and so well done. And I just love reading about the two brave women in World War II. It was just so great. I just loved it so much. And I can't wait for the movie to come out when it does. So, yeah, that was number 4. Number 3 on this list is Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Neague. This book, I kind of picked it up on a whim. I heard a little bit about it. I didn't know a whole bunch, but I picked it up, and so this book is about a kind of rich family that lives in a small town in Ohio. Shaker Heights is what it's called. And they are kind of upper class, and they are kind of privileged, and they live in this place. I'm sorry, I'm not very good at giving synopsis of books. Sorry. But they have a home that they rent out to. It is a duplex, and they have 2 different houses they rent out to people. And this woman who is named Mia moves in with her daughter Pearl, and Pearl and Mia form relationships with Elena, who is the privileged mother, and I'm sorry, I'm not good at explanations. Okay, Elena is the rich person who is privileged, and she has 4 kids. Mia is the one that moved into the duplex with her daughter Pearl. So Mia and Pearl form relationships with Elena's kids, and it's just about how crazy their town is, and about the children and them learning and growing and learning a lot from Mia and Pearl and from their experiences, because Elena's kids are very privileged and Pearl is not. Comes from a very small home. They don't have a lot of money because her mom is an artist, and that doesn't make a lot of money. So it is a really good book. I'm not very good at explaining it, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was so much fun, and I really like the writing style. Not that I could describe it because it's just kind of different, but it was totally a breath of fresh air, and I really enjoyed it, and I really like to read Celeste Neague's other novel, Everything I Never Told You. So if you have read that, please let me know if you liked it. So now, number 2 is a book that I do not own, and it is We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. I really like that book. So it is about a girl named Cadence Sinclair. She comes from a very wealthy family. They have their own private island, and her aunts and her cousins, they go there every summer, and they spend it with her grandparents. But when they were 15, she has 3 cousins that they're all the same age. And when they were 15, some tragedy happened, and Cadence can't remember what happened that night. So she is now 17, she hasn't been there since, and she decides she's going to go back. And she wants to find out what happened that night and why she can't remember. And it's just a really fun kind of different, it's really different. It's really kind of like a mystery element. So I really enjoyed it. I was hooked in from the beginning. It was just amazing. And at the end, I was crying. It was so good. And all the characters were just very memorable. So, now we are at book number 1. This is my favorite book of all time. I absolutely love this book. Words cannot express how much I love it. And that is The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. This is another Kristen Hanna novel. This was the second one that I read. I read it after I read The Nightingale, and I did not think I could like a book better. Like, this just took my love of reading to another level. Like, I just can't even begin to describe how much I love this book and how it made me feel. Lenny is the main character. She is just so strong, and I just love her so much. So I should probably tell you what it's about. So it is about a girl named Lenny, and she lives in 1974. She lives on the West Coast, and her father fought in the Vietnam War, but he has PTSD. And because of that, he is a little bit abusive when he gets triggered. So they move all over the country, the West Coast, because he fears the government, and he believes they're going to take over one day, and they have to be ready, and they have head for the hills bags and everything like that. So he decides they're going to move to the last frontier, which is Alaska, the Great Alone. And there Lenny meets a boy named Matthew, who is the son of her father's worst enemy there. They meet and they do not get along. So it is just amazing, and it's about Lenny and her friendship with Matthew and her years growing up there with her father and her wonderful mother, Cora. It is just so great. I loved Lenny, and I wanted the best for her. I wanted her to get the happy ending that she deserves. It was just so great. And I have cried over books before, but this book had me sobbing. I sobbed so hard. It was just absolutely amazing, and also the cover is like gorgeous, so like that's good. I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary of reading this book, so I'm going to have to reread it soon. So, that was my last book. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if I was a little bit awkward. This was my first time filming a full-length video showing my face, and it is going to take some getting used to. So I was a little bit nervous, and I did say quite a few things over and over again, so sorry. Hopefully I will be less awkward in the next one. So if you enjoyed this video, you can click the like button down below, and if you would like to see more of me, you can click the red subscribe button and press the notification bell so you know whenever I post a new video. If you would like to know what I'm currently reading or see what I'm up to, you can follow me at Maddie'sBookNook on Instagram and at Maddie'sBookNook on Goodreads. So I hope you guys have a good day, evening, night, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this. So I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye!